Alright, the goal today, I got this trailer here from a buddy. He just picked it up and it needs some work. His hitch, his truck sits 3 inches too high. So we've got to modify this somehow. We've got to get it up in the hole. He said this guy's seized, he couldn't get it out. So they spent an hour beating that all the way in. I'm hoping maybe it's as easy as just loosen this. Up in here, the wiring, not that great. Well, the wood decking looks perfectly fine, but it's got oil bath wheel bearing, so that means inside of these caps there's oil floating instead of grease like a lot of trailers. So this is a lot heavier duty of a system, so we're gonna pull this apart and service the bearings, pull the tires off, check the brakes. And then one of the biggest problems here we've got at the back is you can see the lights and wires all mangled. Let's plug the wires in and see what works. Okay, we have, obviously those aren't going to work because the wire's laying on the ground, but so far everything's working. Marker light's good. Look at that. So we just got to fix the wires to the lights on the back. Let's see if we can get these bent straight. So to test the brakes, I've got the wire plugged in still. What we're going to do, turn the key on, which is going to give us control. So the controller's down here. What we're going to do is crank it all the way up. And then to hold it, I've just got these vice grips here. You gonna stay? Cool. So we have full application on the brakes. We have brakes. We have no brakes. Brakes. A little bit. Okay, now with the brakes released, oh, that must have settled. This trailer's heavy. This jack doesn't normally settle. Okay, so let's have a look underneath this thing. So, we've got wires hanging out here. We've got wires broken over there. I wonder if this is Big Tex's wiring work or if this is somebody else. I see electrical tape everywhere. Let's see if I can get this light out of here. Thinking that one might be stuck in there until I can get this all cut out. He was right. It's stuck. Okay. Stage 1, little heat. No, we got the nut more. Wow. More heat. Oxyacetylene torch. I don't ask twice. You don't want to heat the bolt because that'll expand the bolt. You only want to heat the nut where it's threaded into. Hard to tell in the sun, but you can see it glowing red now. Yeah, there we go. Woo! That's awful. Okay, I got that loose. Okay, let's get that out of there. We're gonna at least clean those threads up. Okay, just a warning for everyone, don't touch that bolt and don't touch that nut. Yeah, those aren't all in terrible shape, but they're not great. So this handle's designed to go on top, and as you spin it, that screw comes out and it pushes on the bottom of this and shoves that down. Because we need to come up. So what we might have to do is make an incision, cut this guy off. Let's pull this out and see what's side door number 1. It's got an end point, but I think what I might do is I think I can grind these off. I can have this in my hand. That was stupid. I can take this and I can move it down our 3-inch. Found this little bearing laying on the ground that fell out from the top, so this actually sits, yeah, this will sit right here, so that when that screw turns, it's got a rotating surface, so there's no binding. As soon as we start cutting, we get the good glasses out. These are Edge brand. These are actually CSA safety approved, so if my grinder disc, cutting disc does blow up, there's a better chance of my eyes surviving. You don't want grinder disc in your eyes. This disc has a big chip in it, so I'm not even going to use that. Okay, we're going to be grinding for quite a while here, so a little bit of hearing protection goes a long way. So what are we left with? We're left with exactly what I thought we'd be. Now all I need to do is cut 3 inches off of this and weld it back on. Yeah, cool. First time I've tried that. Unfortunately, the other day I was on top of the trailer getting rid of the ice, and I didn't even think to look inside. I see daylight now. Son of a gun.
You thought I was going to say, son of a bitch, didn't you?
I can't believe that. Now I got a trailer repair. What do you think? That pretty close? I think I'm happy with that. Can't ask for much better than that. There we have it. Same thing, 3 inches lower. Clean up that edge just a little bit and we're good to go. There we have it. Our nice flat surface. Maybe just knock that little nub off or weld right through it, doesn't matter, but it's beveled all the way in. We'll get good penetration. Yeah, right on. I'm happy. I'm so happy with that. That was so easy. So my welder here, Miller 211, it's actually dual voltage, so what I need to do is change the plug. It's got a 110 plug on it. I'm going to put a 220 plug on it. Well, it's definitely on there. When in doubt, weld your ground clamp to it. Or no, this is stuck on here. Jeez. Somewhere I have tips, I don't know where. That's better. Here it is, welded on. Looks as good as it was when it was 3 inches taller. Alrighty, let's see if this thing fits up in here. Lives on top, that probably lives here. The problem they were having before, they couldn't get it up high enough to get that handle on, so we'll see if this extra few inches actually makes a difference. I didn't bring anything to hold this here. It fits. I got this guy in there. So now that'll drop the height of it. And there. Now we just need to fix this bolt. We'll take a wire wheel and clean that up. Then you press the button at the back to hold it. Pick it up. Okay, let's see if we can't get that off with Bertha here. Got her. But that's hot. Well, not too bad. Good squirt always helps. If it will. It's a trick for if your cans don't spray. Tex Repair 101. Let's see if that fits. Look at that, like new. And you seen it pinch and it gets tight. Awesome. Okay, because I'm a really nice guy, we've got never sees we're gonna put on this bolt, and that way it doesn't happen again. Don't need a lot of this stuff, just enough to make a mess. I try not to touch it ever. If you ever touch this stuff, you know what I mean. It turns you into the Tin Man right away. Pull it up just a little bit I can, I guess. tight. Which means I can't move it, so that worked. A little bit squirt more here on the threads for the nut. That way the nut doesn't get corroded. Okay. Nothing needs to be over tight. So what we're doing in here is checking brakes and wires and everything. This axle, the brakes weren't working. There's that wires pulled out there. Could that be, oops, could that be why? Oh, maybe not. Someone's been here. I was hoping that I could get in here and have a look at the brakes without having to pull all this off, but I guess if we're doing a service anyways, it's not a big deal. Let's see what's behind door number 1 here. I got these great big sockets. Not that big. So I brought some adapters. Big adapter, little adapter, and a gun that normally looks hefty, but not today. That's all it is. Awesome. It's just a plastic cap. Then to get the brake apart, we got to take all of this out. I want to pull this all apart, inspect the bearings, inspect the brakes, because this trailer hasn't been maintained all that well, as you've seen so far with all the rust and everything. So we're going to do our due diligence and do this properly. Look at that, it worked. So the nut I took off first. So this nut and this ring lock all this stuff in place. This is the important stuff inside here. So this first big nut, now it's only hand tight, and it's only supposed to be hand tight. That's your wheel bearing preload. So the tighter that is, the harder it's going to be to spin this. Now this one was actually loose. I'll show you how to set that properly when I get all this back apart. This was actually too loose. These big heavy axles, I'll look up the proper spec for them. These heavy axles, they like quite a bit of preload on them, and this one had virtually none at all. So that's a sign the bearings are worn out, or the last service wasn't perfect. The oil in here is very dirty, which tells me it hasn't been changed in a long time, because this is 80-90 weight. Now this should all come loose here, unless the brakes are holding it, which wouldn't be my idea of fun. Oh yeah. Oh, it's definitely held on by the brakes, which means we got to go underneath and back that off. Okay, so on the back side here, we've got these 2 rubber caps that are rock hard. These 2 plugs here need to come out, so I've got access to the brake adjusters. So inside there, you won't be able to see, I doubt it, but inside those holes there's supposed to be a star wheel that I can back off. So in there, see the star wheel? So we're looking at this piece here. So I need to turn that The reason I can't get to it is because I got this big spring in the way. Normally you'd be able to get in there, but that's fine. This will work. You can see the brake pad here, so what needs to happen is the brake pad needs to move away. Are you kidding? It's getting pretty thin. Not a lot of meat left on these guys. I don't know how new this one is. This one might be okay, but they come in a set. This one's almost worn right out, so this will be a for sure brake job replacement. Let's find out what brakes are worth. So I called my parts place and they're closed. It's Good Friday up here in Canada, and Easter, I guess there's closures, so we pulled this all apart for more or less no reason. So we're just going to put it back together here to move it around the yard. This is pretty important actually. What we're looking for is scoring in the bearings and the needles, and I don't see any. It's usually pretty obvious when bearings are bad, so I don't see any signs of wear. We're looking for the rollers in here, looking for wear, movement, so on and so forth. This looks fine, so we won't need to replace them. That's good. Alright, that locks them all together. Now when I change these brakes, I will more than likely be showing you how to torque all this to spec and set everything properly, so I won't do that now. This was just an exploratory... This was just an exploratory day, just so we could see what we had to fix. If we had to do the brakes, which we do, we're gonna have a look at the back axle thickness as well. We'll just have a visual look. We won't pull it apart like this. There we go. Wish my gun would work. Huh. That worked once before. I just tapped it and it came back to life. It's just flashing at me. I don't like it either. That's my only big gun. When in doubt, a little Mighty Mouse out here. Have to move it around the yard. So nice out today. It's supposed to be up to like 25 degrees Celsius this afternoon. It's around probably 10 now already. It's 9 in the morning, so it's gonna be a warm day. I like it. So the cheapest way to get everything was full assemblies. So these are nice. Everything comes pre-assembled. So all you have to do is put it in place, set the brakes, and you're good to go. Double adapters going from 1/2 inch up to 1 inch. This one I didn't put back together all the way, so everything's just a little bit off. This was a bear before. Awesome. Why wouldn't you fall on the ground, you bugger? Okay, well, we're cleaning this out real well, apparently. Up here trying to get this seal, and the number's not going in. I've gave him this number, which is a good number, and they're all having trouble, so I'm going to try to pop it out here. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to break my tool. I don't have a proper seal puller. I'll be buying one when I go to town too. If we can get this out without wrecking it, then we can compare to what they have in stock. Here we got this guy. Okay, so I got that seal out. I think that's the only part I'm going to need for this job from town. So I've got the brakes. They look the exact same, which is awesome. This oil seal's there, the outside sealed by that cap. I think we're good to go to town and look for these seals. Okay, well that was a pain, but there's my old seal. Here's the new one they sold me. It's a little bit different, but it'll work. The dimensions are exactly the same, so I'm not going to worry. Unfortunately, I only had one, so the rest of the brakes, I just got to be extra careful not to wreck the seal. I kind of wish I would have known I couldn't have got a seal, because I would have left this one in there. It was fine. This thing was almost $100. Okay, let's see if we can get these nuts off. Oh, it's turning. Ow! Without hitting my head, let's do this again. Oh, don't start doing that. Okay, that's gonna be warm. I'm gonna squirt some stuff on it. Why didn't the brakes work? Why didn't the brakes work, guys? Jesus. That's supposed to be, See why the brakes are getting changed? Bolts are out. All the bolts are out. That's interesting. You gotta get the last bolt off for this to work. It's right on the underneath side of this. I didn't see it. Weird, this is only supposed to be a 6 bolt and there's 7 in it. Well, we can get a wrench on. I was so scared of that. Wow. That is tighter than I'd like it to be. course, it's 12 feet long. Good. Someone electrical taped those in there. Stupid. Alright. That was a giant pain. I might actually clean up that surface. That's not the best. I really hate people to just show up. Okay, get these route wires stripped off. Nice. I like the looks of this wire. It looks really good, high quality wire. So you'll notice the color was the same there. It actually doesn't matter with these, the way they work. One is color coded differently, but power and ground are the same on these. It's just a magnetic field that sucks everything together. So the wire is quite long on this brake, so we have lots of spare. We're just going to get this on in place. Right here, it'll actually say right hand and left hand on them. So this is on the right side of the trailer. As you're pulling it, it's on your right side. So all we got to do is put some bolts in it and tighten it up. See if we can modify this puller to work. I might have to drill a new hole up here. It doesn't quite reach far enough. That stop drilling. Oh, we got some pressure on there now. Huh. Why? Like it clamped. I much like it, whatever, English. I like it much better clamped down. That's the English. Put that back together and hope it reaches. Come on. And I think my leg just locked. Yep. I hate it when my leg does this. Ow. Well, I don't know how much the camera got, but my, I guess this is called your fib joint right here. Apparently mine's known for popping out. I didn't know what it was called until just now I googled it, but yeah, mine fell out of place, so I had to pop it back in. Anyways, let's not have that happen again. That sucked. That's not long enough yet. No way. Well, if someone could tighten that for me. I am not crawling around on the ground again, because that popped it out. Popped my leg out. Well, it's either going to work here or it won't. Let's go this. Okay. Please work. Don't pull away, don't pull apart, don't pull apart. Stop pulling apart, pull off. No. Okay, that one's on. That one's on. That would be sweet if I could hold that all with my right leg like that. Why wouldn't you? Okay. I really hope that works. Proof of concept. I'm so happy that's working. Okay, well that's brand new. Okay, so I'm just looking across there. I didn't even notice before this backing plate's brand new, but that one and that one are both bad, so. Okay, let's clean this thing off. Okay, so this brake we're not even going to change. We know it works. What we are going to do is make sure that it's set correctly. So to do that, I'm just going to put the drum on and I guess wiggle it and turn it. And there's a clicker on the bottom here that's going to, well, tighten the brakes. It should be working, so we should only need maybe one click. So that's all nice and clean inside here. Yeah, we're good enough. Okay, one thing you'll see a lot of people do is they'll clean the bearing off real good, and then they'll hold it like this and they'll spin it. But you know what that's doing is it's spinning it dry with no oil on it. Why would you do that? It's just wearing it out uncontrollably, unnecessarily. So we're just going to not spin it. We're looking on here for any abrasion marks, anywhere, whatever. And there's none, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil on that guy so that he can not spin dry. And then that can go in there. Wasn't that easier? So, to set these, yeah, brakes are just barely rubbing, so we're good on there. So when I set these, I like to spin them. See how that spins freely? Okay, then you just want to tighten this up so that that's got a little bit of preload on it. The 50 foot-pounds, so. Okay, so what we've done so far is tighten it over tight. We've over tightened it while spinning it. That sets the preload. Now we've backed the nut off, and now we're going to torque it to 50 foot-pounds. There we go. And then this guy goes on here. Cool. And then this nut is the one that holds everything. Oh, put this on backwards. Bend those tanks back over. Cool. Now this one holds everything together. There. And that holds everything together. Tight, it's just plastic, so that's this one. Let's pull the other side apart and see if we're going to need to get bolts for all three on that side. This one's fine, so. This trailer is heavy. I buy brake clean in bulk because it's obviously better that way for me. I go through a lot. I just siphon it in. That's all there is to it. As long as it's lower than the pail, it keeps flowing. See? There we go, so now we can just lift it up and it stops flowing. See? It's like magic. And I got this thing to fill it up. Okay, I just want to show you the ridiculousness of this. These brakes didn't work at all. It's supposed to be nice and loose. I can't even, like... Okay, now I'm officially, like, hitting it. That should never, ever, ever be that tight. That's ridiculous. It's handy, though, because now I can get to all the bolts easily. just like a wheel. You don't want to torque it weird. Oh, we got these guys. So we don't really need all of this extra. We don't really need any more than that. Now I cut this off, so we really don't need all that extra wire. Yeah, see how these are exactly the same? It does not matter which one you hook up to what. As long as it's on here enough, this is perfect. Honestly, it's cold up here, and that was a bunch of motorcycles that just went by. They're braver than I am. Okay. There's that one. Let's assemble this one too, and then we can maybe heat them both at the same time. So that's the solder in the middle. And then when we heat it, it melts and it'll actually glue these wires together for me. Some guys don't like these, but I've had really good luck with them. In my area, it's hard to keep corrosion out of anything, so anything that works a little bit is good. So you just want to start by melting the solder, and then you can move on to melting the rest of it. There's mosquitoes out here. Oh my, they're huge. There, this thing goes way hotter. There, you can see the solder start melting. The people that say these don't work very well, this is what they're not doing right. They're not getting these hot enough. Wow. Ow! Oh, I hate hurting myself. Bugs landing on me. I keep thinking it's mosquitoes. It's gonna be in a minute, I guarantee it. That's as waterproof as we can make it. To reuse seals like this, all you got to do is take some red Loctite and go around the edge, give it a fresh surface, and then same with the inside. When I put it on there, I'll just give it a little splooge of red Loctite. Sucks for the next guy to get it off, but at least it'll seal. I can't get more of these. It is what it is. Let's give this thing some more juice. Yeah, 17, 18. Right, 140 is probably enough. That's efficient. Yeah, I forgot I've actually got proper sleeve retainers, so that's cool. So the way these work is, it says right on it, air side out, so this stuff's cool, it's green. Cool. And that's all she wrote. Okay, before you put the seal in, put the bearing in. Oh my god, I'm not going to be able to get that out without wrecking it. I can't believe I just did that. With any luck, it's still slippery and it just pops back out. Okay, look at that. No damage to the seal. We're Gucci. Okay, bearing is clean. Yeah, there's nothing on the bearing. There. Now we can put the seal in. And it's still got the splooge on it, so we're good. Okay, if you're gonna copy me, don't do what I just did there. Make sure you put the bearing in before the seal. So now what we need to do is set the shoes for the drum. Now this one's got an awesome lip on it, which isn't going to help me. We'll set the shoes at the very end. And that's that seal, it just popped in. I didn't hit that inner one with lube, but this thing's so cool. It's got this probe on it. Oh, look at this, look at the bottle. So we can get right in here and just give it some pre-lube. Yeah, it squirts out. That's so cool. I found this when I was cleaning the shop up. Just goes to show you it's worth cleaning your stuff. On the inside of the unit here, I guess I haven't wired this yet, but to adjust the brakes, we can spin it easily, obviously. We put our screwdriver in here, and there's a star wheel that we just need to click upwards. So it's in here somewhere. There it is, listen. So that's spreading the shoes, so we want to spread them until the shoes just barely touch. It's so awkward because I can't see which way the screwdriver needs to be. And you hear them? They're starting to grab. Okay. So what you want to do is go until it touches. So now the shoes are grabbing. When you apply the brakes, they'll spread out, they'll grab and rotate to where they want to be. Release, and they won't rub anymore. So see how that's rubbing? Pretty much all the way around. That's how you can tell your brakes are adjusted properly. So let's just give it one or two more clicks just to see where we're at. Yeah, no, it's too much, so we gotta go back just a bit. I hope that demonstrated that well, because that sucks now that I've gone too far. Okay, good enough. And then these little plugs keep more grime out than if they weren't there. Ow! Stabbed myself. You're actually working on stuff you cut yourself all the time, it's a good idea to let it bleed. Because it'll actually clean the wound out. The wound, like it's a battle scar. We are together. Ow, that's hot. I touched the metal with my fingers. Okay. Okay, let's test these brakes. I got everything together on the trailer. Everything's bolted up. Okay, so we're just going to use these clamps and hold that together. Stubborn little bastards. Okay, so that should be brake on. Turn the key on. It should say trailer connected. Trailer connected, good. And we got full brakes. So these brakes shouldn't spin at all if everything's adjusted right. And listen to that. Hear that humming? That means the brakes are working. Not well, apparently. I might have to turn the gain up. Okay, let's turn the gain way up. I hear them buzzing. Okay, so I've got the thing cranked up to 9. Let's go to 10 even. So these shouldn't move easily anyways. Oh, that one locks up. I can hear it. It's definitely working. It'll click into place and adjust pretty quick. Okay, on. Off. On. On. Off. On. On. Off. On. Perfect. Okay, one of the last things to do here, we got to fill these hubs. So because these are clear, we just fill them up until they come up to the bottom there. So I got nice full synthetic gear oil for these, and we're just going to put it in with this funnel here. See if I don't spill any here. Look at that, nice and clear. I have absolutely no clue how much these take, but I can see it coming up already, so. Get a little more in there, so it probably will settle a little bit. Takes a bit to run down the funnel, so you don't want to get too overzealous. There we go, right to the top. Now we got some wiring issues. As you can see, the plugs of the wires pulled right out here. The goal today is just make this work, because we're going to redo the whole back end of this trailer. We're going to cut it all off and weld new metal in, so there's no point in making the lights and wiring perfect, because we're just going to be cutting it and mangling it later. So okay, simple enough. We have a 3-wire wire, so inside this big wire there's 3 little wires. There we go, we'll get that out of the way. Now we got more room for our connectors. It's on this. At least this one I can unwrap. there it is. Someone's been here. Okay, I'm glad we have this because that goes into a 4-wire and the colors are different. So we'll just repair what's here. Found an issue. Someone's been here and it's wrong. Okay, so red is green. Does that reach? Can I stretch it? Ooh, we're close. And now we have room for activities. Things are going to be tight, but... Okay, it's a good thing that I paid attention because that green wire is not used. I see the solder melted in all of them. I see the solder melted in all of them. That's all you need. The outside light's not working. Why is that? Oh, that's funny. Okay, we obviously have to deal with it. Okay, is that the proper way to fix a light? It's working. Come on, I'm trying to help you. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, just the plug's loose. Probably a little, oh, not even corrosion on it. Ah, there, we're gonna put that back together like that. And you hit yourself in the angle. Okay, all the lights are working on this trailer. There's a signal there. Lights on the front. Lights on the front. And signal on the side. Okay, next thing, buddy wants all of these freed up. See if we can do that. See how stuck these actually are. Oh. Buddy was so concerned about these. Okay, apparently I wasn't recording. All of these got loose and I'm fighting with this one. Okay, this side's all good. stopper for this one's all up inside. That's So what happened here, obviously that one's not going to get used. What happened here when someone welded this on, they had this backwards instead of down forwards, so whatever, I guess that one's not usable. Here's the last one. That's not awkward at all. Okay, that's all of those. One last thing I'm going to do is torque these wheels. Cool. Okay, maybe just because I'm a good guy, let's try to knock that back in place. I'm not going to get any better than that by hammer. Just tuck this wire up in now and that'll be it. There, exactly to plan. So that wire can't fall out now. See, awesome. So I'm happy with that fix. Okay, so we've dealt with this hitch. We've dealt with the lights, the wiring, the trailer brakes. We've dealt with the tires. We've dealt with the oil and the hubs. All right, let's go work on something else.